Yesterday, I listened to the audiobook of Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk, otherwise known as Gary Vee. And I always really enjoy following Gary Vee. I think he has really good values and an amazing business sense, and there's a lot about him that I find interesting to follow. And he talks sometimes about Taylor Swift in social media and what she does that is really smart. And as I was listening to the book Crush It, I actually could draw parallels between them actually in terms of in marketing and other things. So that's what I'm getting into today. Hello, I'm Olivia D'Souza. I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I'm a content and podcast expert. I support visionary entrepreneurs and leaders passionate about living with purpose. Join me as we explore podcasting, life, business, and authenticity. Subscribe for meaningful conversations with a business buddy who gets what it's like. Welcome to Magnetic Pod. I'm stepping in the next level me. I'm here to be everything. So, yeah, I really admire Gary. I think he delivers content and also is just really relatable and seems really genuine. And there's a lot about his values that mirror my own. So I really was interested to search out and listen to his audiobook. It confirmed a lot of things that I thought about him. And yeah, just had a few takeaways. And so one of the things about him is that he's very smart, and there's going to be lots of takeaways that I can share with you today. But I just want to quickly share an observation is that I feel certain. I know you're not supposed to diagnose people that you don't know, but man, everything he does confirms my suspicion that he has ADHD. And he may not even have a diagnosis as such. He may not feel the need to, because his brain works perfectly to have gotten him where he is. But I wouldn't be surprised if he loses his phone and keys all the time and things like that. But that would explain things like why he did badly at school and couldn't concentrate on the boring crap that they were covering at school. But it's also a superpower for him because he knows what's important to focus on, what matters. But when I watch him, and he's always, when he speaks and you watch him on video, he'll be talking and he'll be fiddling with something and his eyes dart all over the place. He has this tendency to interrupt people, which is quite common for people with ADHD because they just thought something and they're so impulsive, and also they don't want to forget what they were going to say. Interrupt, so they can come off as rude sometimes, but it's not really that's causing it. And as I was starting to listen to the audiobook, I thought, okay, he's reading it himself. And I thought to myself, with my preconception about him, how's he going to manage reading that? I would imagine for him that he could potentially find that incredibly boring to have to go back and read out. It can be a slog. So I hear to have to read out word for word, and quite a tedious process from people that I know that have done it, to read out your audiobook. And I had to laugh when so often throughout the book he keeps going off script. I've never listened to an audiobook where that happens, and he's all the way through the book saying, I've just got to say this. Going off script here. And that is an ADHD thing. Like, if I go off on tangents, that is very common, and I can't understand how people don't go off on tangents. To me, it's not a negative thing. I mean, maybe some people listening and will be like, get to the point, go ABC, beginning, middle, end, please, would you? But I think it's a kind of superpower to have all these things that you're noticing and wanting to comment on. That's not a negative thing, and I do that all the time. As you may pick up on in this podcast. But yeah, Gary Vee does that in an audiobook. He keeps going off script. I have never heard of that in my life. Anyway, so all right, so here are some of the takeaways. Okay, passion is everything. So he talks about his DNA, the way he's wired, and he talks about sharing his opinions on things, but also to run that through your own filter and be true to who you are. So that is to me, passion And another thing he talks about is authenticity. So they are two sides of the same coin, or they are part of the same thing to me, because passion is the truth, is intuition. He talks about intuition, very important, and being guided by that. And to me, that's what passion is. Passion is the thing talking to you. So, for example, when I was a little girl, I always loved to sing. I loved to sing. And I had this thing inside me going, just wanting me to sing. But my sensible brain overrode that, because I just knew the stats. I knew that, I thought I might have had, dreams to be a pop star or whatever, but my sensible brain said, less than 1% even make it, and you just go through rejection, and, it was the time where, to make it, you'd have to get a record deal or something. These days, it's you just go and create your own success and put your things out there directly. But, I just found it embarrassing. I just thought, oh my God, imagine if people knew I wanted to be a singer. That's so embarrassing, because everyone wants it. So that's just being silly. And I later realised, when I finally, as a young adult, started singing, that my life began at that point. And I realised, that thing inside you, the burning desire, the passion, that is your intuition, that is your inner guidance system. Because I found the thing I'm meant to do in my life was fulfilling as a result of listening to that. So I think that's our guidance system, and that's what he talks about using to guide your life and follow what you want to do, and use that in business. So the next thing he talks about, following on for that, is building your personal brand. So he thinks that he really believes everyone should have a personal brand, but he thinks that resumes will be a thing of the past, and it is doing yourself a disservice if you don't build a personal brand. So it's the thing that's going to build relationships. It's the thing that's going to build a reputation, followers, power. Where you have attention and eyeballs creates opportunities. I have someone cleaning in the house, so I hope you don't hear. I can hear things moving, things being dragged around. So I'm hoping that doesn't get through to the mic. And he's not advocating for people to... He really thinks everyone should do something they enjoy. So even if you're in a job that you don't like, he's very practical, believes keeping that job, but on the side, maybe after your kids have gone to sleep or wherever you can fit it in, to create content around the thing that you enjoy. So say, for example, if you really love fishing and you know all about fishing, or you know all about stickers, or you know all about, I don't know, whatever it might be. I think he's used the example of Friends before. You create content about the thing that you're really interested in. And if you follow what you're interested in, you can partner with people who maybe have a business sense if you don't, or whatever. But just it's a long-term thing that you go plug away doing the thing that you are called to do, that you can grow, and then possibilities come from that. You can have affiliate things that you have in your descriptions. You can go for sponsorship deals in your community, or you just affiliate links, or whatever. You can monetize down the track. But where there's attention is where advertising dollars go. And advertising he wrote this in 2009. So what he said in the book has been proven to be correct. And more advertising dollars go into social media and internet, because that's where people are spending their time, and advertisers need to get in front of where people are. So if you can get people paying attention to you, then advertisers will want to spend money with you, or anyone who wants to sell a thing will want to partner with you in some way. He does talk about making sure that you only ever do affiliates for or deals with brands that you actually genuinely believe in, because it's your reputation. And to be patient. He said these things don't happen overnight, and he'll talk to someone who says, I've been doing this for a few weeks, a few months, a year even, and he's like, you haven't even started. And I think what's interesting with that, and where I think people sometimes aren't consistent or don't stick with something, it's because they don't believe in it being success. They don't believe in themselves. They don't believe in their idea. And he always knew it would be successful at some point. So I think that it comes back to that inner guidance system and belief that you're on the right track. But one thing he talks about that I think, he talks about community and creating community, going out and connecting with people, like getting into different groups in Facebook, LinkedIn, forums, wherever, and making comments on other people's posts in other people's groups and all those sort of things, and make thoughtful, helpful comments that are not spammy, that will create interest and send people back to make people click on your profile and find out who you are and end up following your page and all of those sort of things. So he's a bit of a master of understanding people and building relationships and valuing people. And he just also has a knack for seeing what's about to happen, predicting how it will go, and backing himself. And he doesn't even, I thought one thing that was very interesting is he said, forget about stats. You know, how we all track our stats and followers and things like that. And he said that can really stuff people up, because if they're not getting instant results, they'll stop. But if you have a belief that you're going to get there, like when he started Gary Vee TV or something. I can't remember what it was called, but his first one was, if I remember correctly, was about wine, and he started these videos, and he took the pomp and snobbery out of it and said in plain language what he thought about the different wines. And he said when he started, he had 5 people watching, and he was wrapped with that. He was so appreciative. And that's the thing, he talks about gratitude. Gratitude is a big thing that motivates him, and he was grateful for those 5 people, and he would communicate with those 5 people. And one thing he did was, as he was beginning to grow followers, and just like small numbers at this stage, in his videos he'd have a chalkboard behind him, and he would have written things there that were really just inside jokes for his followers. And that reminded me of Taylor Swift. And I really admire Taylor, but I'm not deep in it. Like, I'm not a Swiftian fan. Like, I feel like it feels a bit overwhelming. It's too late to jump on the bandwagon, because there seems to be this whole thing, as I follow on social media and see that people decipher her songs and find the links between this story and that story, and then how this was going to predict that and all of that. But those things that I hear sound kind of similar. They're like, she leaves breadcrumbs and clues as like an inside joke or an inside, so that people feel that they're part of something. And the other similarity is, maybe I shouldn't go too deep into this, because I think I want to do a separate thing on community. But there were a few parallels that I saw between him and Taylor Swift. And as I was listening to him, I actually thought, I wonder if he's a Scorpio. I don't know if you're into star signs, and I don't follow them all the time, pay that much attention, but I do think, as far as personality types, I do fit the description of a Libra. And my mum's a Scorpio, and they're really intense and, have a certain personality. And Taylor Swift is a Scorpio, and she's very much driven by, she has an idea and she backs herself and she does the thing and goes out there audaciously and does it. And Gary Vee was like with that, in like coming out with ideas that other people didn't think would work. And he's like, no, got it. I'm going to go for it. And I just thought something about his energy and intensity. I thought, I wonder if he's a Scorpio. And then I did a quick Google, and his birthday is the 14th of November. So yes, he is. But I think I'll do a separate one about going more into community, and because that deserves a bit more separate attention, because it's a lot of gold in there. It's a really quick listen if you want to have a listen. If you're like me and love audiobooks, I listened to that, just started on Sunday and finished it off Monday morning. It's really quick, doesn't muck around. He's got a real great energy about how he does it. Everything's really practical. You can pull out the bits that you want to that apply to yourself. And there's more that I can say, but I'm going to focus on a specific area that he spoke about and go into that in more detail about the whole community and connection side of things. But that's an overview of him. And let me know if you know Gary Vee, or if you're going to go and check it out. I'll put a link because you can listen for free if you've got a Spotify account. It's not free. You've got to pay for your Spotify account, but it's included in premium. You get 15 hours a month included in a Spotify subscription. So, or you can go and listen to wherever you listen, Audible or something. I'm just laughing because I'm thinking I should probably have an affiliate link instead. But yeah, I'll put a link there and you can check it out. What do you think? Let me know what you wanted me to talk about in future episodes. And if you found this useful, share it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I'm stepping in the next level me. I'm here to be everything I can be. Like a snake, I'm shedding my skin to be my wild next level me. I'm stepping in the next level me. I'm here to be everything I can be. Give you whiplash when you turn around and see me go again. Next level me. It's time to be. Hello, it's Livy here. Have you ever wondered about what the key elements are that make a podcast truly stand out? Or maybe you're thinking about starting your own special podcast and feel a bit overwhelmed and don't know where to start? Well, I have something for you. Introducing the ultimate podcast checklist. Da, 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 da. It's a step-by-step guide that covers everything from the initial brainstorming to advanced growth strategies. It's the perfect companion for both new and seasoned podcasters. And the best part, it's absolutely free. Da, 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 da. To grab your copy, simply head to the show notes of this episode and you will find a direct link there, and then away you go. Remember, every podcast started with that initial spark and the right resource. So let the ultimate podcasting checklist be yours.